welcome to Book Bites. This week we're back in the reading garden with some more fresh new reads for you to try.
Alright, let's open our basket and see what we have. The first title is Secrets of Love Story Bridge, and it's set in a small town in northwest England. And there's a bridge full of padlocks, so people who are engaged or getting married or dating go and put a padlock on the bridge when they're in love. And so this guy, Mitchell Fisher, it's his job to cut all the locks off the bridge. And he's kind of grumpy. He likes to cut the locks off. He doesn't believe in love. But one day, he rescues a woman who falls in the water off the bridge. And she disappears before he can learn her name. He's curious and he's trying to track her down, but the only clue he has is a message that she wrapped around the padlock on the bridge. So some of you might be familiar with this author who wrote The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper. This is another cute and unusual love story. A good summer read.
Sounds super cute. Alright, so I'm going to start with two cookbooks. The first one we've got is just called S'mores, and it has tons of different recipes for s'mores. And you think, well, a recipe for s'mores is a graham cracker, chocolate, and marshmallow, but the author Dan Whalen takes it even further. Here's some chili mango s'mores. There's savory s'mores in the back where we've got some blue cheese on them. Prosciutto and cantaloupe s'mores. Most of them do contain marshmallows, though there's a few in the back that don't. And then in the very beginning of the book, there is a recipe so you can make homemade marshmallows and even homemade graham crackers. So I'm excited to try out a few recipes from S'mores. Gooey, melty, crunchy riffs on the campfire classic.
I'm not sure about those savory s'mores, but you let me know how they are.
I'll try a few. I also have Taste of Home American Summer Cookbook. And so this is all kinds of fun stuff that you want to eat in the summer, like picnic foods that you can grill. It has different sections. So there's a section on fruit, and it involves all the fruits that are fresh right now. You can easily get at the grocery store. There's a vegetable section. It has lots of good tomatoes, zucchini recipes, sweet corn recipes. There's also some desserts. There's lots of grilling recipes too. And also, if you're having a picnic or a little get together, it gives you some suggestions for things that are easy to make in bulk. So this American Summer Cookbook looks really yummy.
Makes me hungry. So this is a thriller called The Voter File by David Pepper. And in this book, an investigative reporter named Jack Sharp has been fired from his job at a news channel. But he gets a tip from a grad student, Tori, and she says that something weird happened at their local election, so he can't help investigating. He starts looking into the voter file, which is the database that contains all the voting information, and realizes that in the wrong hands it could be a really powerful weapon. So I thought this would be a fun one to read before the November election, a little voter fraud thriller.
Interesting take on that, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I've got a nonfiction book called The Death Boat, a tragic accident at Westlake Okoboji that left 9 dead and changed boating in Iowa forever. So this is a true story about an accident that happened in 1929 in Lake Okoboji. And in this story it begins Westlake Okoboji. There was like an amusement park, and two of the big attractions were these speedboats, so you could pay to ride on these speedboats. And one was the Miss Thriller and the other was the Zipper, and they kind of competed against each other. The captains didn't like each other very much. Well, one night, it was a really busy night at the amusement park, a boat pulls up and they have a bunch of survivors from a boating accident. And so everyone pulls them off and they ask them what happened, and they say these two very fast boats collided in the middle of the lake. And so 9 people ended up losing their lives. And then there was a whole trial and everything afterwards where both sides were accused of sabotaging the other. And it's just really interesting kind of true crime, trying to see who's responsible when there's a boating accident, when both boats were going probably too fast and too close to each other.
Wow.
And it's nice to have a little Iowa connection there.
Our next title is The Optimist's Guide to Letting Go. And Gina is an unwavering optimist, even though her mother always finds fault with her and her teenage daughter's not even talking to her. She spends her days making lists for her gourmet grilled cheese food truck, But when her mother suffers a stroke, she discovers this family secret that is going to change her outlook on life. And we have to read it to see if she can still remain so optimistic and what happens there. I would recommend this for people who like following multiple generations of strong women. We've got three characters in this book, and it kind of follows them through the unveiling of this big family secret.
And the last book I have is a graphic novel, but it's a memoir. And so this is about someone who lost her mother when she was 19 years old. So I would recommend it for adults, but also for teens, because anyone who's lost someone close to them can really relate to the feelings that the author has in this book. And I enjoy reading graphic novels, so here's some panels, as you can see. And so at the beginning of the book, she talks about her mother and all the good memories she has of her. And then when she was 19 years old, the beginning of, I think, her freshman year of college, she found out her mom had a late-stage cancer, and by spring break, she was gone. So she went through a lot of different emotions. And she talks about that, about how even though they were going through something really hard, her and her sisters like maintained their sense of humor and how important that is. And then she talks about the platitudes that people kind of come up with afterwards where, you know, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, and how they don't really mean anything. And she talks about some things that you can say that are meaningful to someone who has just lost a loved one.
Thanks for joining
All right.
us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.